for his dreams, and for his words. You may be seated. As we look at America, as we look at ourselves, as we look at our family and where we've come, as we look at the heights of a great country that is in turmoil, balanced and parched on our separate areas, some being Democrats, some being Republicans, and some being independents, with the seeds of racism being sown across our communities. Every time we turn the television on, people we thought that were trustworthy and people we could look up to, we're finding that something has gone wrong. The platform upon which our country was built was set up by our forebears, men who at that time were a little more Christian than they are today. But they were held, like many today, held captive to some things. While they did great things for our country in setting us up with a dream, they had some personal pieces that should have been straightened out as well. Our success as blacks in this great country rises out of our ability to overcome some extenuating circumstances and to move against society that says you'll never be nothing. You'll be half a man. You'll be half a woman. And while our Constitution read plainly that we were equal across the board. Blacks and whites were equal in their creativities, but one side is afraid. And as a result of that, we've had endless struggle down through the years, and we called it racism. And I want to use this story of Joseph to help bring to the surface what happens in a family, what happens in a community, and what happens in a nation when there are undercurrents in our thinking and in our ability to be true and transparent. So it is that in this saga of Joseph comes forth the realities that where God can share with us what he will do in situations like this. Joseph is he's right at the end. It's just him and his younger brother that come to the surface of the history of Genesis. And he comes in the family peculiar. He is the last he's 11 of 12 children. I wish I had help here. And that lineage sets up the 12 tribes. And he is 11, but not only is he 11, he is the offspring of a woman. I wish I had some help here. That Jacob really loves. He evidently loved the other women, and they brought him 10 children. I wish I had some help here. His first wife, and then the other ladies that were connected to that woman, they had children too. So he had 10 children, and he has 2 children by this woman he really loved. And in the Bible, it's always construed in the Bible that the women that was a part of God's plan, not that the others were, but they are part of God's integral plan, they were barren. I wish I had some help here. God has a way to bring what? Unfruitfulness, fruitfulness out of unfruitfulness, huh? Fruitfulness out of barrenness. So it is that Joseph is born, and the old man loved him because he was the offspring of the woman that was the apple of his eye. Him and his younger brother Benjamin was the last, and stuff happens. I tell people all the time when they're dealing with children, I say, the children have nothing to do with being here. You know how you start rolling your eyes at the children, you start, and you want to tell them now they didn't have nothing to do with being here. But since they are here, we need to deal with them. Do I have witnesses in here? And I know that, and parents, don't get me wrong, I understand that is a difficult situation sometimes. But remember, they didn't have nothing to do with being here. So Joseph is born, and the old man loved him so much that he decided to inject into the harmony of the family disharmony. I wish I had some help here. Because he injected into the family, he made the boy a coat. I wish I had some help. Made him a coat, a spectacular coat. It was a montage of colors, and it was a beautiful thing. And he made it and put it on the boy's back. I wish I had some help here. And he sowed into what should have been family harmony, he sowed discord. Yeah. And so I'm coming, don't worry. I'm working it here. So the boy wore the coat, and guess what his brothers thought? They didn't like him. I'm talking about the roots of prejudiceness. They didn't like the boy because the older 10, they didn't like, because the old man let them know that he loved this boy. More than he perhaps loved them. And they didn't like him. The seeds of prejudice, the seeds of hate and animosity. I wish I had some help here. You got to watch that stuff in your house. I know somebody say you strut through the house, talk about you all this, and that you are the ruler in your house. But I don't care who you are in there, you got to be careful that you don't sow discord. But said it was just an innocent thing. Never put one child above the other. Do I have what this to say? Because it'll create hate and animosity. And while the children can't do nothing about it when they're little, they'll talk about it when they get big, and they'll act on it later. They come out from under your house. So you got to make sure that in the home that harmony prevails, and it prevails because you are the head of the house. You know how we put our hands on our hips and talk about what this is our house and all that. Well, if it is, then you be careful how you handle it. Let me run on here now. The hate started with the coat. The hate started with the attitude. Do I have some help here? The children know. I wish I had some help here. The children know when they sit at the table that Dad loves so-and-so and he loves, but they ought to know that what he loves me like I am, and he loves you like you are, huh? And in the morning when he goes out to make a living for the family, he's making a living for everybody because what? Every child is precious. Do have some help. And that existed. If you do that right in the house, then the children will be taught to what? Love each other and not to hate each other. But this boy wore this coat around as a what? As a sign that the old man loved him more than he loved his other brother. And so hate begins there, but hate begins later because of a dream. And I want to tie two subjects in here as I roll on down. We say that what our dream can get us into what? Good trouble. Now, if you've been watching television this last 3 or 4 years, you know what I mean by the dream, and you know what I mean by good trouble. The dream comes from the idea of the great Martin Luther King, who stood on the steps of the White House and declared that I have a dream for this nation. Good trouble comes from a late senator who has gone on and died. I wish I had some help. But he talked to us about getting in what? Good trouble. Now I want you to keep that in the back of your mind while we roll down through this. As a result of that, Joseph began to dream. And I want you to understand what dreams can do. It says here, dreams can get us into what? Good trouble. And we could have talked about trouble, but we decided to throw good trouble in there because it goes with observing Black history. So it is that Joseph dreamed dreams, and they began to get him in trouble. Remember, he is hated anyway by his brothers, by a mistake by his dad, huh? But the second thing that gets him in trouble is he has these dreams. Huh? Let me tell you that dreams can get us in trouble. Watch me, United States. The dreams can get us in trouble. So the boy began to tell his brothers about the dream, and his brothers was upset. That's where this 8th verse comes. His brothers are upset because the dream said that there'll come a time when they would have to be subservient to him. And he's the newest kid on the block. You just got here. And you're telling us that we are going to bow to you. So the dream, while it is true, while it is God ordained, do I have witnesses in here? The dream makes us uncomfortable. And I want you to look at that in the sense of your communities, in the sense of our blackness, in the sense of our nation. As a result, the dream makes the nation uncomfortable. Do I have some help here? Because it talks about some things that are not quite right. It unearths some injustices in our community. Somebody said the pandemic virus, being what it is, has shed a light on the inequities in our communities. We never did have good health care. I got good health care, I guess, because I was a teacher and so on, but there are others in communities that didn't have good health care. Matter of fact, some of them had no care. Do I have witnesses in here? And so we understand that there was inequities and injustices around, but a dreamer running around talking about realities as it should be can make a nation uncomfortable with the way things are. And so it is that he told them, and then he had enough nerve to have a second dream. Do I have witnesses in here? God-inspired dreams. See, God has a way of letting you know what's coming. Don't you tell me that it snuck up on you and you God's child, huh? I disagree with things sneaking up on you and God's child. What did Brother Kevin Hopkins say? Brother Kevin Hopkins said what? While things are going good with you, you lay a groundwork for when things get bad. Do I have some help here? Don't spend every dollar you got. Do I have some help here? Take care of business, huh? Put away for a rainy day, because what? The storm is coming, huh? Don't run around like it's going to be sunshine all the time. We eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we crash. Do I have some help? So it is, he told his second dream. That really got him in trouble, because he told his dad and his brothers, according to the dream, they and mama and everybody would have to bow to him. Now, you know, it's all right to have your brothers on you, but an old man raises up and looks at you and says something's wrong with this dream. And so old man is put off by it. So he actually tells the boy, you know what? Your brothers are feeding the flock up in Shechem. You need to go on up there and find them and then see how they're doing. Watch his language here now. See how they're doing and report back to me. Remember that report back to me, huh? You know, sometimes we say stuff flippantly, not understanding that stuff sounds like thunder in the way situations unfold. So the boy went on up, found his brothers, and when he looked for them, when they saw him, their anger and their rage is raised. The hate had begun a long time ago. Watch me, America. Long time ago, huh? Hate had been bred into. I wish I had some help. I look at all these extreme groups now, huh? The extreme groups they are what? They are uncomfortable. Help me now, huh? They are uncomfortable because it looks like through immigration and through the people in the country just naturally multiplying, it looks like in a great nation like this, if we are not careful, huh? The minority, I wish I had some help here, will become the majority, huh? And the majority now shall become what? The minority. Now, that makes you frightened. Is that right? And not only that, we have some black prophet standing on the White House steps talking about he got a dream. Do I have some help here? He's got a dream that one day, you know. Now, people don't mind you dreaming as long as you don't put some dates on it, huh? But the dreamer stands in the middle of the White House steps there and says, I got a dream that one day, I wish I had some help, one day black children and white children and brown children and all of those will be able to be judged in America, what? By the content of their character and not by the color of their skin. Some dreamer talking about what he sees for America. No wonder America's getting nervous. No wonder we're getting excited. Even in this age in which we live, the majority are upset because they understand there's a storm coming to a great country like this. Storm means that what? You will be, we will be in power and you won't be in power. And you know what that means? The dream makes us uncomfortable. Somebody ought to help me here. And so the brothers see him coming and they decide they want to kill him. The older brother said, no, we can't do that. So they put him in a pit. And ain't God good? I wish I had some help here. I said God is good because God got what? He got a caravan coming by. Huh? I come to tell you, when you God's child, you don't have to worry. And you don't have to fret. Whatever is manufactured against you, God will fix it. Do I have some help here? All you got to do is walk by faith. All you got to do is remain steadfast and unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, because you know God will take care of it. Here comes a caravan and they sail that brother down to the Egypt people, and the Lord takes him down there. And I want you to know God got a way to fix the things for you. And I want you to understand, you don't always understand it. But you understand that since I'm God's child, you don't leave with nothing else. Remember this today. Remember that I'm God's child. And whenever you're God's child, there's some guarantees. Do I have some help? I don't know why folks don't trust God, huh? Brother Deacons, I don't know why folks don't trust God. Because what? God is who he says it is. You mothers in the house, I don't know why folks won't trust God. Because what? When you trust God, God delivers, huh? When you trust God, nothing is able to run over you because God won't allow it to. People run around talking about they don't know if they can trust God or not, huh? Don't trust the pastor, trust God. So they sold the boy down, and he goes from home up in Sikkim down to Egypt. And when he gets to Egypt, he's going to run into some more problems. I talk about those because you want blacks to understand we're not at the end of our problem. Oh, come on here now. The pandemic has taught us we're not at the end. We got some health issues. Do I have some help here? We got some justice issues. Do I have some help here? Politicians are getting away with almost murder. Do I have witnesses here? And yet somebody can steal a pizza and get 10 years. And we're letting America on the other side off because they have money. Huh? Even in the arraignments that we're having now for people rioting and the insurrection in the Capitol, some of the judges don't even want to hold the people in jail. If you're a black man from South Central, whether you stole a pizza or whether you stole a cigarette, it is the same deal. They don't offer you bail, and you stay in jail until they decide to arraign you. There's some injustices in our justice system. And so it is that we're hampered by these situations. But our dream can get us into what we call good trouble. I better get on through this thing now so you can go home. But our congressman, the late congressman that has passed away, talked about good trouble. Good trouble is when you, Brother King said, when you straighten up your back. Do I have some help here? Straighten up your back, huh? And begin to stand up for right. That's what good trouble is. Do I have some help, huh? Good trouble is Harriet Tubman going down through the Underground Railroad. Somebody ought to help me here. That's good trouble, huh? Selecting those from the bushes, huh? As a song is sung in the old black hymn, telling them that you can come on now. It's clear. Do I have some help here? Pennsylvania Underground Railroad system running its way toward Canada. Churches up and down, black, white churches helping us to what? Hide in the midst. That's what we call good trouble. Slaves sweating bullets, hiding, trying to figure out where they can get through this and eventually get to Canada. That's what I call good trouble, huh? good trouble is a woman who sits on the bus and decides, today I'm tired and I ain't moving, huh? I'm going to sit here today. Now you call your police or whatever you got to do, but I'm not moving, huh? This is the day that I'm going to get in good trouble, huh? Call the police and they set up a boycott that ran over a year. Do I have witnesses in here, huh? People mobilize. Black folk got to learn we got to keep mobilizing, huh? I know it's 2021, but we got to keep mobilizing, huh? When things come down on us, we got to do our best, huh? Like you were doing with food. You take the food, you divide it out, you get on the phone and you call the others. Do I have some help? You call the others and let them know, girl, some food down here. You better come over here and get it or I'll take it to your house. That's mobilizing. Do I have some help here? That's mobilizing because what we have the blessing, we're not going to sit on it. We're going to what? Push it out. Huh? Food is perishable. Let's push it out. So it is that we need to get in good trouble. Huh? Good trouble is to elect Barack Obama. Do I have some help here? Barack Hussein Obama is to elect him as the president. Do I have some here? Now he went in and they said what he couldn't do. Well, he couldn't do it because Congress is set up so that if they don't pass your bills, you can't get them through. And said and then they can say you are ineffective. Well, you are ineffective because we were ineffective, huh? You are ineffective because we didn't allow you to pass your bills, huh? And even one of our great senators said he's going to be a one-term president, but not so with God, huh? God decides he's going to be a second-term president, huh? And they run up and down this nation until they get enough votes, and the Electoral College gets them in as the second term. Do I have witnesses in here, huh? Because people are they're uncomfortable with Obama. Do I have some help? They were uncomfortable with the kinds of things he stood for, huh? He began to speak in the sense of being very progressive, huh? The old guard doesn't want progression. They want to keep us in slavery. They want to keep us down. They want to keep us behind the egg ball, huh? Everybody's jumping up and down about $15 being a minimum wage. Everybody knows $8. You can't live on $8. But the old establishment, well, just give us enough to get by, but not enough to stand on our feet. While they want America to be progressive, they want it to be progressive on their end and digressive on our end. So it is that the boy goes down to Egypt and has to go through 3 places. He goes to Potiphar's house. Potiphar's wife messes up around with him. He has to go to prison. Do I have witnesses in here? And then God delivers him from prison to the palace. Do I have some help here? Goes from the pit to Potiphar's house, huh? To prison and the palace. Do I have witnesses in here? They're trying to solve something in the Pharaoh's quarter. They're trying to solve a dream they had. And somebody said, I remember somebody that can tell us what this dream is about. Ain't God good, huh? I said, ain't God good, huh? That's what we call good trouble in prison, huh? They bring him from the prison cell to the Pharaoh's quarters, and he tells the Pharaoh what this dream he had is all about. Ain't God good, huh? Pharaoh takes his prison clothes off and puts a prince palace dress upon the man, set him in charge of the whole kingdom, and he's not only able to save Egypt, he's able to save many of those where he came from. I say God is good. Is that right? And the picture lets me know that his brothers is truly standing in front of him. Got to hurry with this now. His brother stands before him and he tells them, go get your younger brother Benjamin, bring him. They said, we can't do that. The old man won't let the boy go. Joseph, we just can't do that. He said, go get him anyway. Ain't God good? Gets the old man up in the boy and they bring him back to Egypt. He unveils himself. He said, I am Joseph. I wish I had some help. I'm the dreamer. Do I have some help here? Nothing like a dreamer come full circle, huh? Nothing like a dreamer spouting out stuff ages before it happens. Nothing like a dreamer talking about situations that is to come. Nothing like a dreamer bringing and uncovering situations, revealing situations in our life, and we ain't ready for it yet. Maybe we are not ready for a dreamer yet. Maybe we are not ready to what? Put our shoulders to the plow. Maybe we are not ready for a dreamer that sees clearly where God is taking us.
Come on now.
And we live in a nation now where we need to get in good trouble. Now, good trouble is not being inebriated. I wish I had some help. We're talking about good trouble, huh? Take your marijuana and throw it out. I wish I had some help here. Because marijuana clouds your thinking. Do I have some help here, huh? Don't take crack and cocaine and worse than that, the opioid drugs where the doctors give it to you. Huh? Keep telling you they're giving us too much medicine in the first place. And once the stuff takes over our cells in our body, they begin to do strange things. But don't do that. That's bad trouble, huh? Teaching our children you ain't got to steal because your mama and your daddy, has provided what you need. And if we don't have what you need and you can't get it, you do without until you can get it. Do I have some help up here? Bring our children up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Let's teach them to fear God. Let's teach them to worship God. Let's teach them to call on the name of Jesus early. Let's teach them that God sits high and He looks low. Let's teach them that God is our battle axe in a time of war. Let's teach them that Jesus is all you need. What did He say? Without me you can't do nothing. With me you can do all things. Let's teach them that we need to get in good trouble, huh? Good trouble is standing in the streets of Baltimore, Maryland. Good trouble is having the nation rise up across the summer like they did. Black man being killed by a white man's knee on his throat. I forget how many minutes it is now, but he did it, amen, long enough to kill that man. And then have what white, black, and green folk stand up in the middle of the streets and say, we're not having it anymore. I call that good trouble. So it is our nation. Our children have to be taught what good trouble is, huh? Good trouble, huh? Good trouble is standing out for what's right, huh? Good trouble is not breaking into somebody's store. Good trouble is not going by Brother Kevin's shop, huh? And breaking into it and tearing the windows out, going in there, taking his soda out of his soda machine, to ripping his mirrors off of the wall. That's bad trouble, huh? That's a black man being destructive in a black neighborhood to a black business provider. That's bad trouble. Do I have some help here? But good trouble is to go down to the end of the street on Vernon down there and have some kind of protesting the situations in Los Angeles. Good trouble is going out by 135th where people have given up their homes and trash all over the freeways. Good trouble is to go and tell our mayors and so on, we're not having this anymore, huh? Our cities are not going to be let go, huh? You're not going to clean up Beverly Hills and you're not going to clean up West LA. And then past Main Street and 135th, cars all up and down the street, huh? Trash men. They said they can't go get the trash, huh? Why can't you go get the trash? They got tractors that cover and give you what you need, but it's because people have decided to stop doing, huh? While there are people in our city who claim that they want to be leaders in our community. They want to be leaders just because they have the sheer numbers. And I come to tell you, it's not that you have sheer numbers. We need somebody that can lead, huh? We need somebody that can go into our neighborhood and say, we're going to clean up this trash. We're going to clean up our city. In West LA, they don't have this. In West LA, they may have a few people, but they don't have the hordes of trash that we have in our neighborhoods. Good trouble. Good trouble. Now I'm getting ready to sit down now. I'm setting up. Yes. The dreamer says, come on, Pastor. I have a dream. Jesus. I have a dream. Amen. That we will be able to change the future. Yes, Lord. By how we react to the present. And how we gain wisdom from yesterday. Do I have some help here? We'll be able to overcome because the lessons from the past are fresh. And the wisdom of the present is fresher. Yeah. That gives us a ability to make decisions on the cuff based on new realities. Yeah. And so it is that the dreamer and good trouble gives us the advantage. Do I have some help here? Don't be afraid. I hear the hymn writer saying, walk together, children. I wish I had some help and don't get worried, huh? There's some great days coming, huh? Good trouble is to get to the bridge and say that we're going across. Do I have some help here? And on the other side, you can see the dogs. I wish I had some help here. And you see the police with their bats waiting on you, huh? But good trouble will stimulate us, huh? Brother King said we straighten up our backs now. We're walking. I wish I had some help. We're not here to tear nothing down. We're not here to tear nothing up. But we're here to march across that bridge. Huh? I know that there's some pain waiting for me. Come on here now. We want something, but we don't want to pay for it. Do I have some help here? And I mean pay for the pain that has to be happening. You remember Gandhi in India? You remember what they did when they got ready to go out to the police? They also took out the hospital beds. You remember that, don't you? Hospital beds and laid them out because they knew that at the end of that day, folk were going to get hit and beat and blood would be running. But they prepared themselves to go through the struggle. And I say to young America, we got to prepare ourselves to go through situations, huh? Got to prepare yourself to go to college and write in a flawless English paper and have them to accuse you of plagiarism. Do I have some help here? Got to be prepared to go on and do our very best, huh? And even when they do hand you your coveted degree, be prepared to go down to the place and to get a job, and they render that what you came at the wrong time, that the jobs are all filled, huh? But you got to go on anyway. Do I have witnesses in here? Young folk, I want you to keep going to college. I don't know whether there's a job for you when you get out or not, but if there's not a job, then make a job. Do I have some help here? Think in your head what you can do, huh? America built by black folk was not always built because we had. Much of it was built because we didn't have, huh? They didn't want us to go to your schools. We'll create our own schools, huh? Somebody said Sammy Davis Jr. would have never learned to tap like he did in a dance, and he went to a dance in school, huh? His dance in school was in the basement. Do I have somebody's help here? Nobody told him what he couldn't do, huh? And he just kept tap dancing until he got good at it, huh? Tell you young folk, you got to keep rolling, huh? You got to go on in the name of the Lord, huh? You may be a black child, but your mind is great, huh? You are a great person, huh? Don't anybody tell you you're not nothing, huh? You young black children, huh? You understand you are great. You ain't got to apologize for being black. You don't have to apologize. Coming from a black neighborhood, from a black family, you ought to thank God you come from them. Go back to your forebears and find out who they were. Find out what they came from, huh? Find out what they endured, huh? Find out the mountains they climbed, huh? Find the valleys that they walked through, huh? Find the water ponds where they got water, huh? Find the places where they received mercy, huh? And understand that you too must go through these things. Somebody called it good trouble, huh? I think it was a Friday on Calvary. Do I have some help here? Good trouble. Do I have some help here? He said, I come that we may have life, huh? And that we may have it more abundantly, huh? I've come, huh? And this is good trouble, huh? Somebody said good trouble on Calvary, huh? Somebody said, why do you call it good trouble? It's good trouble because the outcomes, I wish I had some help in here. The outcomes of Calvary is able to save all men from the part of their sin, huh? The shedding of the blood on Calvary, it is what we call good trouble, huh? That the soldier is able to pierce him in his side, huh? We call it good trouble because blood and water comes running down. Good trouble because it's able to pay the penalties of life, huh? And the black nation has gotten to where it was, huh? Not because we believe in a white Jesus, but we believe in Jesus, huh? He's our burden bearer, and he's our heavy load sharer. Yes, sir, he's my friend when I'm friendless. He's bread for me when I'm starving, and when I'm by myself, he's my friend. Jesus, good trouble, dies on Calvary, huh? Yeah, they take him down and bury him in a barn or two. But early, he gets up with all power in his hand. Good trouble, They are going to send you to the corners of the earth. Tell them about what I have done. Good trouble. People are being radicalized. Good folk. who turn negative. And they turn negative because they don't have God in their life. Don't tell me that you know God and you're negative. Do I have some help here? Don't tell me that you have dealings with the Father and you negative, huh? Tell me you love God and you pessimistic, huh? Don't tell me that you love God, huh? And you can't look to the hills from which cometh your help. Don't tell me that you love God, huh? And God has not made some of your dreams come. Don't tell me that you love God, huh? And you can't love your neighbor. Don't tell me that you love God, huh? And you can't forgive one another. Don't tell me that you love God. And we can't walk into the light as He is in the light. So the dreamer. You think you got a rough time? Go to the pit. You think you got a rough time? Go to Potiphar's house, huh? Potiphar's house represents all the sexual innuendos. Do I have witnesses in here? And if that doesn't work, go to the prison where you've been what? Inappropriately, you've been inappropriately accused, huh? And then wait for God to bring you out of that in victory, huh? God will bring you out in victory. Good trouble. As you stand here. Father, we thank you today. Everybody said, I'm glad that trouble don't last always. We invite you to come now. Yeah.